What's up, YouTube? My name is Dylan, and today I'm coming back at you guys with another album review. So this past Friday, Freddie Gibbs dropped an album. It's called Soul Sold Separately, which I had a lot of anticipation for. It's been 3 years since he dropped his last album, and Alfredo was a Grammy-nominated album, so I was expecting big things from this. But let's get right into it. Starting off with our first track, it's called Couldn't Be Done. I really like the sampling in this song. Actually, a majority of this the song was the sample. It builds a lot of hype, and it's a really great album opener, in my opinion. But there's less lyrics than I really want in that song, because it fades in, with a lot of, there's sample pretty much, and then Freddie comes in, and then the rest of the song is also sample. Also introduces the casino skits, which pretty much every song on the album ends with, which is pretty cool. It kind of, because the whole point is that it's the SSS Casino is the album built around in Vegas. So I thought that was pretty cool. Stylistically, this album introduces a blend of trap and also the coke rap that he's known for, and it does that very well. It kind of seems to me like he's combined the style of his album Freddie and also Pinata to kind of come cohesively together for this album. Onto the second track, Blackest in the Room. It's more on the mellow side. It almost seems there is a beat the whole time, but it almost seems like he is going a cappella because he doesn't really match up with the beat. It's basically just kind of like background noise, not really as much of a beat. It's kind of hard to explain. It kind of sounds like elevator music for the first half, in my opinion. But around the second half of the song, he kind of switches back up and he starts rapping with the beat. So it changes slightly. For the third track, Pain and Strife, that features Offset from Migos, which is really cool in my opinion. I didn't really expect that collab, but I'm really grateful that they, did that together because it turned out to be a really great song. It's got a faster flow. It's got a more trap-style beat, which is, something that Offset is more used to, which I think had some influence in choosing the production for that song. He uses the melody for Love of Money, gotta get that money, man. So I thought that was pretty cool. Like I said, not expecting it, but I was pretty thankful for it. Track 4, Zipper Bags. Freddie talks about cocaine, as per usual. I mean, that's, Cane Train, But this is a major album highlight, in my opinion. Definitely go check out Zipper Bags. I'm going to try something new this week with our reviews. I'm going to start listing out essential tracks, and this is our first essential track from this album, in my opinion. So on to the next song, Too Much. This was a song that came out first on this album. He released 2 songs before the album came out. This song and then also Dark Hearted. But this song is also one of the album's essential tracks, in my opinion. It's got this really great infectious beat. Moneybagg Yo brings a lot of style to it. Once again, another one of those collabs I was not really expecting from this album, but Moneybagg Yo performs quite well, in my opinion. Also, he really does bring his A game. This is not to the par of most Moneybagg Yo stuff that I've heard before. It's on a different level. But they do indeed complement each other quite well. For Lobster Omelet with Rick Ross, it transitions very well from Too Much. Rick Ross and Freddie Gibbs have worked together before. Everything's turned out great, in my opinion. I like all of their songs together. And they just kind of bring it one more time, Beat is almost angelic, I feel like. That's the best way I can really describe it. It's got this very, orchestral sound to it. Great sound scheme. And I was a really big fan of this song. I wouldn't consider it one of the album essentials per se, but it's definitely a highlight song on this album. Space Rabbit is very well written, in my opinion. It's more mellow, but it's got a very silky beat to it. The longer skit on the end of it, I thought was pretty funny. He says, there's this one part where the guy that's talking on the end skit says, "Why do you love rabbits so much? Because you're always hopping out of your child support," which I thought was hilarious. Because if you guys know anything about Freddie Gibbs, he has a lot of kids to a lot of different women. So I thought that fit pretty well. It was pretty funny. Feel No Pain with Anderson .Paak. Anderson .Paak?
Paak.
It's Paak. I'm being told that it's Paak. It's Paak. I don't know, the age-old debate. But Anderson .Paak, okay? They collabed together previously on the song Giannis on the Bandana album with Madlib, and that song was amazing. So I was expecting really big things from this song, and this song definitely did deliver. Freddie brings more of like a higher pitch to his rapping in the song, which I thought was interesting. And it's got a more minimalist production. Anderson .Paak does a great job with the melody. And then Raekwon comes in at the end from Wu-Tang Clan. He comes in and makes a surprise appearance, which is great. And those two worked on songs together previously as well. So it's just nice to see them working together again. Because previously, they worked on the song. They were on Bomb together off Pinata, which is one of the best songs off Pinata easily. So that was really nice to see. I really like the way that they all worked together in that track. And that would be another essential track for this album. Rabbit Vision is just built like basically a classic Freddie Gibbs song. You know, it's what you expect from the man. I thought it was really funny. Joe Rogan actually does the ending skit on this song. He talks about he got his guy. He's in Vegas. He got his guy. He came through. He's got mushrooms, DMT, Kevlar underwear with extra bullets. So I don't know what they're going to be doing with that Kevlar underwear, but that remains to be seen. Coming up next, we have PYS, which is Pimp Your Slut, is what it stands for. DJ Paul builds a great beat here and also does a great verse. The ad-libs are really good as well. And there's really not much more to say other than just a great song. Up next, we have the song Dark Hearted, which was one of those two songs that came out before the album. Really great track. I really liked it. It's very symphonic in its beat. It's got some of Freddie's best lyricism on this album. One song where I almost feel like I don't really want to analyze it for you guys too much. Like if you haven't if you haven't heard it yet, go listen to it now and then come back to the video. Tell me what you guys think in the comments, but that has to be one of my by far my favorite songs on this album. So just go listen to it, pause the video, go listen, come back. That's all I want y'all to do. This song, top tier Freddie Gibbs right here. Gold Rings is a more low-key track. It's featuring Pusha T. They worked together previously. It was Freddie, him, and Killer Mike in Song on Piano or on Bandana, the second album with Madlib. And I thought that their attitude and lyrics like really pair together well. I mean, Pusha T is very known for his like I sell cocaine attitude, and that's the same thing Freddie does. So I feel like they work really well. But they were on Palm Olive on Bandana together, which was also a really great track from back on that album, and they worked well together in this album. Coming up next, we have Grandma's Stove. Freddie takes a bit of a more self-reflective tone here. He speaks on kind of his interior struggles and stuff like that, but also like experiences with death around him, you know, being like just scared to go do basic stuff because there are people out for him, which is, you know, a sad part of the rap industry. As you know, or as you guys know, Pop Smoke was killed in his home how many years back, and Gibbs mentions that, and speaks on how like that like really shook him up. Just kind of shows that nobody's really invincible, and it's, I don't know, it's just more of a mellow, kind of sadder song. Soul Child brings a really melodic feeling to this album, and his style really reminds me of The Weeknd in a way. Also, the next track, CAA, it fades in from Grandma's Stove, like, and transitions very well. But also, it's the last track on the album besides the bonus track decoded with Scarface, and what I thought was really funny about it was CIA actually stands for Crack, Instagram, and AIDS, and it's just talking about how the CIA gave us Crack, Instagram, and AIDS. But yeah, that's one of the more chiller songs, and it's a really great closer to the album, in my opinion. I did think that this album started to kind of drop off in quality towards the end. Like some of the songs, it started really, really strong, and then kind of, you know, got more mellow as the album length went on. But I thought CAA was a pretty good closer. And then there's, of course, the bonus track with Scarface. Love the Scarface feature. I haven't seen a collab between them in a minute, but the previous ones that I've seen have been pretty great. It's got a very jazzy type beat to it, and it feels kind of like more of a Madlib produced song, in my opinion. They're a pretty classic pair, and it just turned out to be a pretty awesome bonus track. Really glad we got that. Now on to the album as a whole. I didn't really like this album, as much as I like some of the other Freddie Gibbs albums. Like I put Pinata above it easily, Bandana above it, Straight Gilla above it probably. It just doesn't really kind of hold up to his usual style, but it's still nonetheless is a great album for the most part. Not a whole lot I have issues with on this album, but I think that a good if I was to number rate it, I would have to give it a solid. Actually, you know what? I'll give it I think a high 7 out of 10. I feel like it's pretty deserving of that because there's like low points and there is high points, and the high points are really high, but some of the lows are pretty low. Well, I wouldn't say it's super low, but like it's just there's like top tier songs, and then there's songs that are just like kind of like basic, if you understand what I'm saying. So overall, this album a high 7 out of 10. Freddie Gibbs has been saying it's going to be the album of the year. I don't really agree with that statement, at least so far. Maybe with some time it'll grow on me, but for right now, in my opinion, it's not the album of the year. Like for hip hop, it has more of a shot because it wouldn't be taking into account "Ants from Up There" by Black Country New Road, which is very clearly the best album to come out this year, which came out back in February. I've been a big fan of Sick by Earl Sweatshirt, which came out back in January, like right as the year kicked off. That album was released. That album, for a while, had been my number one album to be released this year. But then it was, once I had listened to Ants from Up There, it kind of overtook it. But I feel like both of these albums are definitely contenders for best rap album to come out this year. Yeah, if you guys like this video, be sure to like and subscribe. I'm going to be posting every week, as you guys know. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.